it's all about doing the right thing, even when no one is looking, and honesty, conduct yourself with integrity. Policies and procedures are there to guide us, give us direction on how to do our day-to-day work. So it is great to be regulated, know the do's and don'ts. To be honest, being transparent gives you peace of mind, knowing that all you do is above board. You don't have to worry about audits, hence SACAA has been getting clean audits as well. No matter what, non-compliance is not even negotiable at SACAA. We also have platforms, fortunately, where you can report such unethical behaviors, and you can do that anonymously if you're scared to be victimized or something like that.
So yes, my background is actually BSc in biology, and then I studied MBCHB at the former Medunsa University, now called SACAA, and studied my master's in public health at the University of Pretoria. So while studying for my master's, I realized that I actually needed to write a thesis and use computers, obviously, and conduct research, which was my major weakness. I needed an environment where I could actually learn and develop as a person, as a doctor, and prepare me to basically complete my master's. So I moved from a complete clinical situation where I was dealing with HIV/AIDS patients and programs to an aviation space which is highly technical and continuously evolving, and which afforded a lot of innovation and learning. So that's how I really found myself here. Fortunately for us, through the International Civil Aviation Organization and WHO, about in 2007, ICAO introduced the program called the Kapska Program, Collaborative Arrangement for the Prevention and Management of Public Health Events in international space. That looks at communicable diseases, radiation accidents, and chemical spills. So we started there because we learned from SARS-1 that happened in Asia Pacific that we as aviation, because of ultra-long flights and improvement in technology, that communicable diseases could actually move from one continent to the other within a short period of time. Therefore, the program was introduced, and I was fortunate enough through the Civil Aviation Authority to be part of the program when it was introduced in Africa in 2007 in Gabon. And we then moved to Nigeria, and then South Africa then hosted one of the biggest meetings there in 2010. That afforded us an opportunity to proactively plan. So from 2010 up to 2019, we were busy having conferences, African conferences. We've hosted a South African number of them to prepare industry for public health events such as COVID-19 now. So proactive planning is very important, because in an emergency you do not have an opportunity to plan. You then need to implement, and pandemics like this one, you can see that it's been evolving. It has not been stagnant, and we had to continuously evolve with the pandemic itself. So proactive planning, collaboration, communication with various stakeholders that are involved in the implementation of the plans, like your airlines, your airports, your charter operators, was very important. Training industry, and just being there to oversight, providing guidance material, and just continuously monitoring the evolution of the pandemic. So it's been a great learning experience. However, without planning, we would have found ourselves in a very more compromised position. So training is very important from when the team actually comes in, both internal, in-house, continuous training, external training, conferences are very important. But also we work in a very evolving space. Technology, looking at aviation, is continuously evolving, and so you have to be on top of new information that comes in and make sure that your team have access or is training that information. But we actually also use a number of specialists to make sure that they continuously training their team. Looking at the team dynamics in terms of strengths and weaknesses is very important, especially when you're dealing with emergencies such as pandemics that are evolving. So identifying the different personalities within your team and knowing who to place where, knowing that even if a project has never been done, that they will be able to actually manage because of their strengths. So understanding the different dynamics or personalities within the team is very, very important. We're also very fortunate in that we work with universities and we have specialist support, and we consult continuously locally and internationally. We're not afraid to ask questions where we don't know because of continuous evolution. So where I do not have an answer, we have a very close-knit collaboration internationally within the aviation medicine space, where you work with more elders who are more informed or specialized, and you're able to actually consult. So where I do not know, I'm quite honest with my team to say this, I'm not sure, this is what I think, however, let's consult this external person, whether local or international, to actually provide support. And you obviously, as a company, the Civil Aviation Authority is really a company of choice. I know because I've been there for 17 years. I believe in basically learning and innovation, so the team members can come up with ideas, or they are allocated new projects that one has never actually worked on, for them to actually, and that's normally exciting for all of us to learn new things. So it's a continuous space of learning. Planning from the beginning. I know everybody talks about planning, and you have to actually create a roadmap of how you're gonna get there in terms of implementation. What is it that you're trying to achieve? So for me, planning has been a major issue. Collaboration and consultation, if you're working on in a project that requires a number of stakeholders. Training the stakeholders that will be part of the implementation is very important. Buy-in is very important. So most of the projects that we've run, they actually include external stakeholders that are either outside of our department at SACAA, within the SACAA, but mostly we deal with external stakeholders, whether in South Africa or in Africa or globally, because we do participate locally, we participate in Africa, and we participate in a global space. And you always have to actually implement something. So consultation, training, collaboration, and support while that project is happening, and oversighting it, identifying gaps as it evolves, and coming up with a solution for those gaps, and bouncing them with the people who's going to implement them to see whether they'll actually work. But also we benchmark quite a lot to make sure that whatever we do is in line with international best practice.